friends, your favorite besties are back for another episode of No Man. I'm Will, and I'm joined by my podcast co-host and Chaos.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am.
Hey Uglies, today we are back recapping the Boulay Brothers Dragula Titans Season 2, Episode 3. And this one was, I would say, Nosferatu's bride, in which they had to be the groom and the bride.
Yeah, I love that. I love the duality of it. I love that they had to create two separate looks, but also tie them in. Like they had to be cohesive. Like they had to look like a bride and groom. But I love how some of the queens took it to kind of a gender neutral kind of thing, or like swap genders with it. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah. And so just a FYI, for us, we're going to be just recapping the bride looks. We're not going to recap the groom looks.
And that's only because
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's only because they only posted officially the bride looks. So in terms of getting the pictures,
It would have been
like I'll still bring them up, but you just won't see them on the screen.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of that, shall we get into that?
Yes.
So first up, we have Disasterina. What did you think of this look?
This was a great, I think that her package as a whole was a graveyard shift. I really like the idea that she had of the bride being like the dominatrix and the groom being the sub. I thought that was really fun. I thought it was a wonderful idea that was just not really well executed. Like James A. Jhoany said, like this looked really cheap. There was not enough fabric on the groom. And they also, to me, they didn't look like a bride and groom. I think the two looks were so different, even though you could tell that one was the dominatrix, one was the sub. You couldn't tell that was his dominatrix. So the only reason it's not rotten, thank you, is just because of the idea that was behind it.
Well, unfortunately, I gave this a rotten. I didn't like it. I don't, how can I put this without sounding like a fucked up person? I didn't think that it was feasible for this to actually be real, right? Like for me, the story, like I don't see someone putting themselves into that much pain on a what, like I don't care. Like as much as we want to talk about it as far as like, oh, it's horror and it's like filthy. Like I don't see that. Like honestly, like nobody is taking that big old like wooden stake up their butt. Like nobody's doing that.
I mean, you'd be surprised.
Like I don't see somebody being that much of a masochist.
And also, girl, don't you remember? It's not wooden. It's what you say it was. It was titanium. And everyone was like, it is?
Right. It was like, yeah. Also, the concept to me, like the bars, just looks a little arts and craft for me. And so that took me out of the overall look because no shade, I actually like the groom look better than the bride look because at least the groom looked realistic and real and made sense. Just doesn't make sense to me, in my opinion. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Okay, then we have Abora. What you think?
Overall, we'll give this also a graveyard shift. I don't think it was an interesting enough take on the bride. Like, at the end of the day, it's still just a tattered white wedding dress. It's kind of something you would expect from Abora. The groom look was okay. Like, it wasn't anything to write home about. I just expected more from her. Like, I wanted it to be filthier, creepier. Like, I didn't want white.
I also gave this a graveyard shift. I want a different silhouette in the face. And I know we talked about this on a different recap show, but when talks about like silhouettes, and I get it. This is her staple. This is her. I'm not saying for her to change her drag, but I want to see a different face from Abora. Like, can she do something different for me? Can she think outside the box and not always just give us like the staple Abora face? Because I don't think, in my opinion, it doesn't go with every look. And so sometimes the look, like the face and that nose, takes me out of the overall look. I don't mind the dress. I don't mind it being white. I don't mind it being tattered. I think if you're going to go wedding, go traditional. Why not? I don't have a problem with that. But also, I just don't think the face went with the look.
My other problem with this look is, yes, it's kind of like messy, but it's too white. Like it's too perfect. Like, everything appears very like messy, the hair's all over the place. I needed some of that down on the fabric. Like I wanted some black on the fabric, some rips, some tears, something else. It just looks a little too polished.
I mean, I also didn't mind that. I didn't mind the juxtaposition between that. For some reason, it just seems like, oh wait, it's filthy, but had enough sense to say, well, today's my wedding, so I need to make sure that I'm not as crazy.
Well, maybe she's and not looking crazy is what I mean.
Next up, we have Eva Destruction. What did you think?
This isn't over. As a whole, like the bride and the groom, I thought was great. This
Wrong
was
show.
such a bloody brilliant. Bloody brilliant, my bad. But see, that's how excited her runway, her floor show presentation got me, because with the bride, she was obviously like a spider, that was very obvious. You could see, I love the wig, the way the wig was the spider. I love the gown and how big, and the silhouette. I love the color, the material, like everything about it, the makeup. And then I love how the groom was the complete opposite, in that he was all white, like from head to toe. But you could tell that was the bride and the groom, because he was covered in spider webs. And then, you see him take it all off, and I think he looked even better underneath. I thought the whole floor show for Eva was like one of my favorites of all time, honestly.
This is bloody brilliant because it made me uncomfortable in the best way. And I think that's what is really great about it. One is because the spiders, I could not look at it because it was freaking me out, because I'm like deathly afraid of spiders. Like, my arachnophobia is ridiculous. It is wild. I cannot. I would like freak the fuck out. And I just, no, like, no. But that is what it's about. Like, I got it. Like, I saw them as the groom and the bride. I think the makeup on this look right here is divine.
Yes, but I also love the makeup as the groom. I thought that was amazing too.
He looked emaciated. He
Mm-hmm.
looked like he was in a cocoon. And then when
Mm-hmm.
he took it off, he looked like all of the life force was getting sucked out of him. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's also part of the story too. And
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
it looked like the
Black
spider had sucked
Widows.
him dry.
Right. And I'm like, she's the Black Widow, and she's technically like killing him. And I just think that is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, I loved it. You should also watch a lovely little movie called Eight-Legged Freaks. I think you would love
Oh, I've
it.
seen that, and I cannot. I've seen that. I've seen arachnophobia. I've seen the man turning into the spider. Cannot do it. You know
You
what's so
mean The
funny?
Fly?
No, there was a man turning into a spider.
They have that?
Yes, there is. There's a movie in which he literally turns into a spider. It's crazy. He's like I think he was like a journalist or whatever, and then for some reason he got bit by a spider and he literally turns into a spider. His transformation is one of the most gruesome and weirdest shit ever. It is crazy. Like,
Was it
it's
with Jeff Goldblum?
I don't remember.
Because I think you might be thinking of The Fly,
No,
where
I'm not
I
thinking of,
think
like, he wasn't a fly. No, he wasn't a fly. I know the fly.
okay,
He literally turned into a spider.
so a ripoff of The Fly.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, got it.
And it's so funny because when I was growing up, I was never really afraid of them until something happened to me in Georgia and I ran through a spider web and it was all crawling in my face. And after that, it's changed my life.
I am scared of spiders. I don't think I'm scared of them to the extent that you are. But oh god, that probably would have set me over the
I'm
edge.
traumatized. So now when I see it, it like I always know if it's a spider in if it's a spider in my house. I know where they are. Like, I just know because for some reason I would see it could be the tiniest little thing and I will literally see it. Always.
Okay,
Like, I don't know, and I don't have to look for it, but that's what Eva's look made me feel really uncomfortable. And I was like, she did what she needed to do because
she
I'm
did.
uncomfortable right now. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
All right. Then we have Dahlia Black. What did you think?
For me, it was a creepy. I think as the bride, she looked really great. It was really glamorous. I love the red, especially the red eyes. I think it's a really good look. But when it came to the groom, it did like there was nothing about it that I really found interesting. It was just kind of meh. Like, and I also didn't really see that as like, even though it was the same color palette, I didn't necessarily see that as her groom.
Okay. I gave this a creepy as well because the groom decreased my rating of the two looks together. I felt like she spent so much time and energy on the bride, which rightfully so, because this is an
Hmm.
amazing bride look. Like,
Yes,
this by
absolutely.
itself would have been bloody brilliant. Amazing, hands
Yes,
down. This is the Dahlia Black that I missed on like coming back to the Titans. The groom felt like an afterthought. I think she
absolutely.
used the prop of the heart to like tie in both the groom and the bride look, but I don't think the groom was strong enough to be like a compliment to the bride.
I agree. Yeah. Without the heart, you would not have been able to tell like they were bride and groom.
All right, next up we have Priscilla Chambers. What did you think?
I also gave this a creepy. I love that she went all black. You could obviously tell, bride and groom. That was really obvious. I think it was an interesting silhouette. It's very like old school wedding dresses, which I adore. It was just I don't think there was anything about it that necessarily like made me say like wow.
Yeah, I agree. This is a creepy. I thought she looked good. I think it's also more power to her as a trans woman that she decided to dress up like a man. Like,
Hmm.
I think that's great, right? I think it's like I am so confident and comfortable in my trans skin that I can be a man, right? Like I
Hmm.
can be that person and say, you know what, this is not me. This is not who I identify with, but this is part of the competition.
And
I'll play dress up. I'll be a drag king for today. And I thought that was great. And I think both the bride and the groom, there was a through line to it. Was it super? My gosh, no, it wasn't. But I did enjoy both looks.
I agree with you.
Right. Then we had J. Jolie. What did you think?
As a whole, it was rotten. I think Jhoany as the bride looks absolutely gorgeous. Like she looks stunning, beautiful, but it's not giving me bride. It's giving me like the one that the groom has the affair with. Like it just wasn't giving me bride. She looks great, gorgeous. Like love the dress. And then when it came to the groom, I think that was my least favorite groom outfit of all the monsters. It left so much to be desired. It felt like an afterthought. I don't really think you could tell that that would have been her groom. I don't get the candle, like the candle stakes, whatever you want to call them, menorah. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It just didn't make sense to me. And then the gremlin. Why? Like I know she said like, oh, it's the ring bearer, but why is the gremlin your ring bearer? Like that didn't make sense. Like if she had maybe had Gizmo with the bride, to tie it all in, like that would have made more sense. But why the fuck is there a gremlin on your shoulder? Like, explain that to me.
I did not give this a rotten. I give this a graveyard shift because this is a really great bride look. And so, yes, the groom was not good. It was bad, but I really enjoyed the bride look. And so I have to give her points because she looks really good.
I think the best part of her floor show was when she came out with the veil, like the floating veil with the balloons, and that bouquet that was like attached to like the head. I thought that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that necessarily fit with the outfit she was wearing. Like it felt like it should have been part of a different outfit.
Mm-hmm. But I like this. I like it.
I mean, she
I
looks
think she
great. She
looks
looks beautiful.
I think she looks really pretty.
Yes, she looks absolutely stunning. But I don't think it fit the prompt well enough.
Mm,
And the groom did
sorry.
nothing to help her case.
No, I mean the story was disconnected though.
Yeah.
But the story was not it. No.
No, and why was there a gremlin?
I don't
Like
know.
that's all I want to know. All that was going through my head when she was walking down as the groom was, I don't know if you remember on season 7 when Jasmine was dancing with the loaf of bread, and you just see
Yes.
Ruth stop and be like, "Where'd
Where'd
you
you
get
get
a
that
loaf
bread
of bread?"
from?
She's
Right.
like, "Where'd you get a loaf of bread?" Like that was what I was thinking as she was walking down. Like, girl, where'd you get that gremlin? Like,
Yes.
make it like explain it to me. Or it would
Yes.
have made sense if that would have been great if she had done like the female gremlin and like
Mm-hmm.
the gremlin. I think that would have been amazing, and it would have been great with this outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would have
She
been
just needed
amazing.
to tie in the gremlin to make it make sense. Because it
Yes,
just
that.
wasn't making any sense.
Yeah, very that.
Okay. Then we have JK. What did you think?
I gave JK an over. No, sorry, we'll keep doing that. Bloody brilliant. um, I loved both of JK's looks, and I loved the idea of it with the roses and the bouquets. Um, like James A. Jhoany said, like the roses is very important both in terms of love and kind of horror. Um, so I thought her using that and incorporating that and essentially making that the outfit was amazing. I thought it was really interesting. I love every small detail she had. I think she looked great in both looks.
I gave it a killer only because I didn't like the groom look as much as I liked the bride look.
Okay.
And so I honestly didn't get the story connecting them together as much. Like I get the roses and I get the spikes, but for some reason to me, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought it was two separate people and
Hmm.
not like for them to be together. Like I get the story, I get where JK was trying to go with the roses and the dust, but for me, I just think I like the bride look more than I like the groom look. But together, they were okay. It just wasn't my fave.
I like how with the groom, like her head was the rose, and like it was
Mm-hmm.
like the only pop of red. That's what I really enjoyed. Honestly, I kind of like the groom look better than the bride look.
That's fair. She did say that she spent a little bit more time with the groom look anyway, right? And then she was making the spikes for this one in the workroom or in the space.
Hmm.
But I think
Yeah, I
together
mean,
they're both really good looks. They're not bad
yes,
looks.
no,
Both
not at
looks is
all.
well thought out. I just didn't get the story didn't speak to me as much as some other stories.
Absolutely, yeah. And speaking of story,
We have Blackberry. What did you think?
I gave this a killer mainly because of the idea and the story that she was trying to tell. I thought that was absolutely wonderful. I got it right away as soon as the groom came out. Even before the groom came out, I was like, "Oh, I think I know where Blackberry's going with this." And then the groom came out. I was like, "Oh my god, yes!" I loved it. I just wanted. I think the outfits could have had more on them. Like that, it's. I wanted more. I wanted it to be bigger. I wanted it to be filthier, kind of. But I love the idea that she had in her head.
Mm-hmm. I gave Blackberry Bloody Brilliant. I really enjoyed the story. And I see your point of wanting them to be a little dirty, but I also see the point of not having them to be dirty and
Yeah.
having the wedding being interrupted by a mob of like white people
Hmm.
when this is supposed to be like a sacred point and now you're trying to find each other. That's where my head went and I'm like, I 100% get
Yeah.
where she's going with this. Like I get it. She also had a little bit of Sinners. So shout out to Ryan Coogler and, Michael B. Jordan because that was a really good vampire movie. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that 4 times and great. So you have a little bit of that with some slavery in there. And I'm like, Blackberry, this was so intentional. I understand it. And thank you. Thank you. I loved it. Thank you for bringing storytelling, especially stories that people shy away from. But we need to realize that this was history. It has happened. And you bring it on the show. And I think it's great.
Absolutely. Like this was kind of gut wrenching to watch, honestly, but at the same time, like it was absolutely necessary and it was a beautiful story to tell. Which
Yes. And my favorite part of both looks is she didn't have any shoes.
yes, which is weird because typically it would be like bitch, wear the heels. But I think it made sense with again with what she was trying to say.
Yep. All right. So we have Jaharia. What did you think?
This was a rotten for me. I think with the bride look, I think it's a nice dress. I think she looks good. I think I love the makeup, I love the color. But for me, the whole presentation as a whole did not feel like bride and groom to me. Honestly, it felt like prom. So that's why I gave
Yeah.
it a riot.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is a rotten. I didn't like it. I just didn't see where Jaharia was going with the look.
Hmm.
And then especially the bride look, the parts right here cover her face. So in
Yeah,
certain angles and certain ways she
even in
turns,
this
you can't
picture.
see her face. You can't see it.
Yeah.
And then the actual garment swallows her up. So there's no shape. And then that brings us to Cynthia Doll. What did you think?
I gave this bloody brilliant. Main reason being was the choice of fabric. I love how it was like the color kind of shifted depending on the lighting angle. I love that it was like sometimes black, sometimes red. I thought that was really smart. This like bride is absolutely gorgeous. It's creepy, it's glamorous. I absolutely adore it. And I think the groom look tied well enough into the bride look, with the again with the same like shifting fabric that you could tell that they were supposed to be together. I thought she looked amazing.
I gave Cynthia Doll bloody brilliant. When I tell you, it was so smart for Cynthia Doll to be Dracula, like Alucard, like what he looked like as a just like a normal person was sexy. That long beard that she had, like that goatee, I was like, this is a sexy man. Like I was like, this is a sexy man.
Okay.
That was a sexy couple. Mind you, they're vampires, but like sexy couple. Which also I think is really smart too, because vampires are sexual beings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's really good when you can tell that story. This looks like I can see that this was the vampire's bride. I'm like, it makes sense. I love the story that she told on it. Now, my problem with Cynthia Doll is that sometimes Cynthia Doll is really good, and then sometimes Cynthia Doll is way outside the box where I'm like, girl, what were you thinking?
Yeah. But I think this is the best we've seen her so far this season.
I agreed.
And I don't mean that to be like shady, but that's how good this look was.
I don't think it was shady at all. I think it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have La Zavaleta. What did you think?
I will give it a creepy. I wasn't a huge fan of the bride look. I think it's a good enough look. I like the all black. I don't think it needed a pop of blue with the shoe. Sometimes I'll be like, yes, you need to break it up a little. I just don't think it needed it in this point. I wasn't a huge fan of the spikes either. I didn't really fully get it. But the groom look was absolutely amazing. That so in the previous episode we were talking about like how if you're gonna wear stilts, you need to incorporate it into the outfit so it's not completely obvious you're wearing stilts. And that's exactly what La Zavaleta did. She covered the fabric, she extended her arms and had fingertips at the end. My only issue with that look was, well, it was an issue, but I also like that at the same time. One of my favorite things in horror movies, and I think it's a horror trope, is the mysteriousness behind killers. Like, like Michael Myers and like Jason, because you don't really know who they are. They're just this figure stalking you. So while I
Mm-hmm.
did want to see Zavaleta's face when she was the groom, like so I could see the makeup, at the same time, I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense for her to just kind of keep it covered and concealed and for it to be mysterious because it kind of gives that aura of like, oh, it's that mysterious stalker that's, behind you that you don't really know who it is. So I appreciated
Mm-hmm.
that. So but I really did like her groom look was probably my second favorite right behind Eva Destructions.
Okay. All right. I gave this a graveyard shift. It's because the bride look brought
Okay.
down the groom look.
Okay.
Like, and it was because the groom look was so good, right? And it was inspired and
Mm-hmm.
it was different, it was avant-garde, it was out there, it was creepy, it was edgy. I'm like, this is good. And then the bride look was like, to me, it was like this, right? Like the groom was up
Yeah.
here and then the bride was down here. And so I just wanted to it doesn't have to be perfectly matched, but it could
Mm-hmm.
be like a little difference between the two. And I didn't see that from this. I just wanted more from the bride look.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I
And
think that
the bride just gave me just pedestrian.
I can see that. I definitely think she needed to elevate the bride look, especially compared to the groom. But I don't think it was horrible enough to like. No, mm. I don't know. I keep the creepy. I said creepy, right?
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, I keep the creepy.
Okay. And then last but not least, we have Sigourney Beaver. What did you think?
I absolutely adore this bride look. It's gorgeous. I think my biggest issue with it was her presentation. You could tell she was upset, like right away. And obviously, I mean, she was the one who had the disadvantage given to her by Jaharia, I think it was, right? Where she had water thrown on her. In my opinion, I completely forgot about that. Like, I generally forgot that that was going to happen. And you could not tell that she was wet. I don't, at least not enough that, like, I think it should have affected her to the extent that it did because you could really tell in the presentation that she was just over it. Her dress kept getting stuck or her veil, whatever. I think it's a beautiful dress. She had my favorite bouquet of the night. The groom, I guess it tied into this. Yes, it was cohesive, but I just wanted something a little filthier. I don't know. So overall, I'm just ranting. It's a creepy. I think
I
the
gave
groom look
her,
was too pretty.
yeah, I gave Sigourney a graveyard shift for the exact reasons that you said. I think she let that curse get the best of her, and the presentation went downhill from that.
Yeah.
And just like the brother said, right, like she should have leaned into that wet look. If you know you're gonna get wet, have wet hair, right? Make it seem like you got wet. But she was just so pissed that she got the disadvantage.
Yeah, and she absolutely let the destroy her. She could have even done like a bloody look. So then it looked like obviously she'd be wet, but it looked like she'd be wet from blood rather than water. That would have been a
Or
really
like
interesting take.
make the dripping intentional. Like make the makeup, smear it down, like make it look like you were just out in the rain and you don't have an umbrella.
Yeah, make it look like a hurricane like attacked her wedding or something. I don't know. Make it look intentional. Don't let it get to
Right.
you.
And
And it's
she
not like
didn't
she
have to
didn't know that that was gonna that was gonna happen. Like she knew, she was aware.
And she didn't have to have that long ass veil. She could have just scrapped the veil, right? Because bitch, it's going to be heavy and you're going to get wet. Scrap the
Mhm.
veil. You could have, and she's a consummate professional. And the fact that she let that get the best of her, I was a little disappointed in Sigourney. I'm not gonna lie.
But I also think it was. I mean, yes, that. But I think a part of it was also all the drama that went on this episode because the drama they were they were fighting left and right again.
True. So, do you think that the drama played a part in the extermination?
I don't know. I don't think that's the reason that person was exterminated. I think really what it came down to was she wasn't presenting. Like Jade wasn't really giving what was being asked of her. Like she hadn't given us a wow moment that really wanted us to have the Boulay brothers keep her. And I also don't think she was the center of all the drama to the extent that somebody like Cynthia or Sigourney is.
True. So obviously the winner of episode 3 is JK. Rightfully so. I like JK's story. I thought the story together was a really great concept. But that left Disasterina and J. Jolie up for extermination. And we see that J. Jolie is eventually exterminated and she gets sent to the gallows. Why I asked that is because I thought Jade's presentation to me, in my opinion, was better than Disasterina's. I didn't get arts and crafts from Jade's two looks. I got
Mhm.
Arts and Crafts from Disaster Arena's look. And so that's what I'm saying. I honestly think, and it's not because Disaster Arena has given us in the first 2 episodes that she's been amazing, because to me, I think both of them has been fading in the background. No shade.
Yeah,
But
but Jade has been in the bottom before.
true. But I think it's because all I'm saying is I think a part of the factor that led to Jade's extermination is the fact that she was in the bottom, but also she has been a part of the drama.
I see that. I think that is a valid point, but I just don't like if you're gonna eliminate somebody because of drama, like Zavaleta, Sigourney, what's her names?
Dahlia is the one
Dahlia.
that has Dahlia is the center of the drama, actually. And we
Dahlia
saw that in the
is
last episode. She is the drama.
she is the drama. We saw that in this episode, like when all the girls started coming for her, and she tried to play the victim, and she was like, "Well, no, y'all are coming for me, so I'm just defending myself." Like, no, girl, you're the one who was saying like the craziest shit and trying to throw these girls under the bus, and you continue to do that. This episode when she was like, "Well, I did my research, and it turns out like you need a medical professional to administer ketamine." Like, girl, let it go, let it go. It's done. It's over. It is interesting to watch. I'm not gonna lie. It is fun to watch all the girls fighting, but I can see your point of them trying to eliminate some of the drama because it can be a little exhausting.
Yes. And then also a part of me feels, with all that said, a part of me feels that they put Jade in the, like, they put her up for extermination, and also she got exterminated to see what she's made of, to see if she wants to fight. Because I don't think they thought that she would, like, had as much fight in her.
That's fair. That's fair. And I mean, we know now that like there is like a competition within the competition, the Hellbound Showdown, where the girls compete and one of them is going to make it all the way to the top four. So I see your point with that of like, hey, you're not doing so good in this. Let's see if once you're eliminated, if we can bring that monster out of you.
Mm-hmm. And so I think they're going to have 4 rounds of the Hellbound Showdown. I think it's going to be, and it's going to be like you said, it's going to be a competition within a competition. So so the eliminated monsters, or the exterminated monsters, I should say, they get to compete in exactly like floor shows against each other. So round 1, we had Frankie Doom versus Loris, in which Loris won that Hellbound Showdown, which meant that she is going to go against the eliminated or the exterminated queen of the current episode, right? Which was Jhoany. And then we saw that Jhoany was the eventual winner. And so now Jade is going to go against the exterminated monster of the episode that just came out. So we shall see who that is.
Do you think Jade can take it?
I don't see it, because this is Dahlia Black. This is Jaharia. This is Dahlia Black, Jaharia, Disaster Arena. Or was it Abora? No, I think it was Abora. Yes, it was Abora, Jaharia, Disaster. No,
Wait, what are you talking
Aboria,
about?
Dahlia, Jaharia, and Zavaleta. Those are the 4 that were up for extermination in this episode. An episode was at 4.
Got it. Okay. Now I was confused. I didn't finish it. I just started it.
Yes. Spoiler. Those are well, it's not really a spoiler because the episode came out. But there was 4 monsters up for extermination. And
Got
so
it.
based
Ooh.
on that is who Jade will be going against. Right? One of
Okay.
those 4. So even if she goes against Abora, I don't see her coming out of that. If she
No.
goes against Jaharia, there could be, depending on how like the mindset that Jaharia is in, but Jaharia can take her.
And she has been doing really well.
Yes. Could be possible that she takes Dahlia Black, unless Dahlia does something stupid. And then this Zavaleta, which I don't see her taking Zavaleta in a floor show battle. So I don't think that she will be like coming out of this like as the winner for the next round.
Bitch, who the fuck? That's an interesting. Okay. I mean, we'll talk about that next episode, but I'm like, oh, that's an interesting bottom 4.
Yeah, it was a very interesting battle for, but it was a very interesting challenge, and you'll see. But friends, there you go. That was our recap of Titans Season 2, Episode 3. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a single episode of No Ma'am. Until next time.